What's going on, everybody? I'm Kevin from Cigar Prop. And it is another Drew Estate Tabak and Tech Tip Sunday, powered by Monster Energy Rehab. It's noon and I just got up. And I really need this. Been busy. I've only been to work one day in 3 weeks. Been on vacation. You followed me. You've seen my travels. Tons of events the last couple days. And this is a tech tip. It's where I'm going with this one. But so I didn't really have a tech tip planned for today because I haven't been at work. I've been on vacation traveling. But then I went to an event the other night and I came out and my tire was flat. So I'm like, do I change it? I wasn't in the mood to put my spare on. I'm like, well, I made it all the way here. So I drove to the nearest gas station, put some air in it. I'll chance it. I should have just did it. Right there, brightly lit gas station. So got on the highway. Got a couple, I have the TPMS monitor on my truck, so I pulled it up so I could just keep an eye on my air pressure. If it started to go down, I would get off at an exit. It started to go down pretty quickly, so I ended up having to get off a couple miles down the road on the interstate. Luckily, I didn't have to pull over on the interstate. That's dangerous. Sorry, I got this external monitor and it's mirrored. So pull over, and if it was the average person, they weren't changing my tire at that point. It was I have a truck, a GMC 1500, long rod that goes through. We've talked about this before. If you're going on a road trip, or even not, at your next preventative maintenance service, you need to ask the technician, can you take a look? Tell them this, if I get a flat on the side of the road, is there anything I need or anything that needs to be done to facilitate that? Sometimes, like I said, jacks get rusty. They need to be lubed. Which, sometimes, because they have like a little end on them, we can run them in and out with our drill and lube them up. Give the guys like $5, give them $10. Because sometimes it's a lot of work. If I get a flat, make sure everything's okay. On mine. I had this one piece that must have fallen down. If you didn't know anything about it, you weren't changing the tire, you were calling a tow truck. I knew exactly what had happened, so I got underneath there in my suit and pushed it back in place. I was able to get it up. One thing on my truck, which a lot of these old guys that come into the shop, well, I'm getting to the point of the story, so listen, it gets different than that. And then we'll go to crank down their spare. Maybe they'll have an unrepairable nail. We have to order them a tire, so we got to put their spare on. And then I always pull out like on their keys on their trucks, but this isn't for a truck either. So key fob. There's always a little button. Sometimes it's really flush. If you push that button out, there's a key to your vehicle, right? Sometimes it's underneath the door latch to get in your vehicle. Sometimes you got to pop something off. But on most pickup trucks, in the back where you crank down your spare, there's a little door you pop open, and there's a key lock in there so nobody can steal your spare. That's what goes in there, is the key that'll drop your spare. So most people, 99% of the people that have a key fob have a hidden key inside here, just to let you know. So it hits the spot. So I had to pull over in a sketchy area. Was not happy. There's not a place in this plaza, because this is now midnight or so. So maybe 11. Yeah, I think it was like 11 o'clock. So I pull over in there underneath a brightly lit street lamp. Luckily, I had a pocket flashlight that I keep charged all the time because I was able to fix that thing underneath with my pocket flashlight. So a couple of times, a couple of guys pulled up, and it was in a plaza, so there was like a Chinese restaurant like that was still open. There's a McDonald's there. They parked near me, which was kind of weird. It was a big parking lot, but They got out. No one looked at me. No one gave me a second glance, and they went inside. But every time someone pulled up or I heard something, I definitely stopped. My head was on a swivel. Obviously, I mean, I was kind of I was in a suit. I had my suit jacket off, so I had my vest, slacks, everything else. I went to work right away. So if you were watching me, it was obvious that I knew what I was doing, and I didn't need help. I've been on the other side of that where I've watched someone that obviously knew what they were doing, but I've always asked them, "Hey, do you need a hand?" And every time it's happened, no, man, I'm good. I got this. And then you can tell, there have been a couple cases. It's like, they said that to be manly, but they needed some help, and I ended up helping them. Chivalry. Chivalry isn't something a man shows to a woman. Being chivalrous also, in my opinion, I don't know the definition, I didn't look it up before this, is also something a man shows to another man. That late at night in a parking lot, I was, they didn't know I had Florida plates. They didn't know I wasn't from the area. The couple gentlemen that pulled up next to me, it would have been nice if they would have said, because if it was on the other foot, I would have done it. "Hey, do you need help?" I'd be like, "No, man, I got this. It's what I do for a living. It's late. Do you mind if I hang out here and just watch?" If they were from there, they knew it was kind of a sketchy area. It's not necessarily the safest place. It's dark. You're alone. Something can happen. Do you mind if I hang out here and just wait till you're done? That would have been nice. But that didn't happen. Maybe it's the world we live in nowadays, to where, people have blinders on and nobody cares, or the world has become such a dangerous place. You don't want to. We've all seen Silence of the Lambs. Can you give me a hand? And then next thing you know, that guy ends up in the bed of my truck. It puts the lotion on the skin. But I don't know. It's I would have just hung out by my truck, a couple parking spots, and just kind of kept an eye out on a dude. And that's just what I would have done. It's what I encourage you to do. If you see someone broke down on the highway and they're changing a tire, I know we all have places to go and things to do. And when you're traveling at 80 miles per hour on the highway, by the time you come across somebody that is broke down on the side of the road, by the time you think about getting over and being able to stop, if it happens a lot of times, like say, the looky-loos and traffic will back up and you're going slow, you can pull over. I understand you can't really pull over in those situations, because like I said, by the time all that happens, you're a half a mile down the road. You're not going to back up. You're not going to walk a half a mile. But I just encourage you, if you're in a parking lot, it's late at night, especially late at night. But if you see anybody working on their car, if you know anything, about anything, just go over there and just say, "Hey, man," because we're always going to help a female. I just threw that out there. We're always going to help a woman. Is there anything I can do to help you out? But another guy, it's like, "Oh, that's a guy. He's got it." They don't. I see it every day. People don't know what they're doing on cars. They need help. And then sometimes it's just the security. I would have done that job a whole lot faster and got on the road if my head wasn't on a swivel the entire time I was changing out my flat. It'd have been nice just to have a fellow guy there, even a woman. I'm anybody there, just keeping an eye out on me in that neighborhood. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm tired. Hopefully this Tech Tip Sunday was of use to somebody. I'm back to work on Tuesday full time. No more traveling to do. So hopefully we'll have a better one for you next time. But yeah, Tires Plus, Firestone Complete Auto Care, Hibden Tires Plus, Wheelworks if you're out west. Just make sure all your flat repair stuff, jacks, is all in good hands. So go see those guys and gals.